Okay, so welcome to Kajabi. This is your first tutorial in a series of videos that I'm creating for you on how to use Kajabi. This is the all-in-one software that I recommend for everyone joining my programs and getting into the coaching industry because Kajabi has everything you're going to need to build your programs, build your offers, your freebies, your emails, all of the things. It all happens here within Kajabi. There's only a few programs that you're going to need outside of Kajabi that are super easy to integrate into this. So this is going to be your dashboard. Once you get set up in Kajabi, you're going to actually see where these sales things are here. These will actually be up here at the top once you get past your trial. I believe this will go away once you get things set up, and then this moves to the top. So your dashboard, you'll see how many people have opted in, if there's any comments, how many new members you've had, and then what your sales are. And then just down here, just updates and information from Kajabi about what's going on in their side of things, what's new, all that kind of good stuff. So that's the dashboard. Over here to the left, you see the main menu. So the main menu, I'm going to go through these in individual videos so that you know what each of these menus are and what is in with what is contained within them and how you use them for your business. So you can watch those videos separately. This little get started tab, this is showing you how to basically use the program. So this is Kajabi step-by-step tutorials. You can absolutely go through these. They're going to be just as great as obviously the training we've got going on here. Kajabi knows their product inside and out. So feel free to go through those as well. What I'm doing in these trainings is showing you specifically what you need in order to build your group coaching program, build your email list, build your website, the things that are specific to your coaching business. So I'm getting right to the point in my videos. These may go beyond that, and that's cool. And if you want to learn anything beyond that, just know that they have a lot of great training. So where I want to start in this video is I want to start in the settings tab. So you'll see there's a small menu down here. The Kajabi partners, I will explain in a separate video. We're going to go into the settings tab today. So these are all of the settings that you have access to set up for your account. When you set things up in these settings areas, it applies to your entire Kajabi site, basically. So these are things that kind of once you set them, you can forget them. Some things you may want to come back to, but pretty much in here, once you set most of these things up, they're going to be done and you won't need to really come back. So I'm going to go through each one of these one at a time. Site details. So this is for me a tutorial account. So this isn't my actual account. So you will see some things that might look funny, but you would call your site title. For me, you would call it your business name, which for most likely for you, it's your personal name. So mine in my actual Kajabi site is Shayna Recker. Then your subdomain is the subdomain that Kajabi gives you until it's the subdomain that kind of acts as your domain until you connect your URL that you purchase outside of Kajabi. So most likely, unless if your name is popular, you'll probably have something that has some numbers beside it. If your name is not taken, it'll probably say your name.mykajabi.com. You can actually change this. So if you don't like the default one it gives you, if you say manage domain, you can actually edit this. And like I could change this to Kajabi test or Kajabi tutorials. It might not work because somebody might have already done that. So I'll just say Recker Media, just so I know it's mine. And if I hit save, you'll just see what happens. It doesn't really matter what I put there for now, but you'll see now that is what my Kajabi domain is. That's the subdomain, or right now the default domain that it's using until I set up my custom domain. I'm not going to go through the custom domain right now. I just wanted you to see where you could change that subdomain here. So you want to put in a support email for your business. If you have a cell phone number you want to put, you don't have to have that. Obviously with language. Now the default currency, you won't be able to set it until you actually add your payment portals. And I'm going to show you where you can do that. Your homepage, this is basically saying, what do you want to direct people to for the homepage? So right now, if you were to go to Kajabi tutorials, this link right here, Kajabi tutorials, recordmedia.mykajabi.com. If I were to go to that, it's going to go to the homepage for the theme that was chosen in my website. So there's a default theme that's been chosen for you. And right now, if someone were to go to this address, it would show that default page. So sometimes, and we'll get more into this in the website section, but sometimes people want to just create a homepage from a landing page from scratch. They don't want to use the default website. So you can set this to land on a landing page. You can show them whatever page you want when they log into your site. So, or when they land on your site. So right now we'll just keep it as the homepage. Your branding. So you can go ahead and you can add in a logo here. A favicon, if you're not familiar what a favicon is, I've done a video for favicon for you, but it's basically the little, if you see up here in the right-hand corner, it's the little graphic that's up here in this tab. So with your logo, you want to create a favicon so that you have a little graphic that you can put here. If not, it will default to the Kajabi graphic. So I highly recommend you make your own, and you can pop that in here and it gives you the dimensions. So you can see this is a little tiny file, and obviously your logo, it's giving you some recommended dimensions as well. So you can put that on. Now your colors, this is the default palette that you get with Kajabi, but all of these are changeable. So when you click on them, you can actually change them to whatever your color is. I don't even know if this is actually going to be a color. No. Is that a color? No, it's not. But you can actually type in your color numbers and you can see it changed up here. So if you know what your hex codes are, which I show you that in the branding, how to find those, how to create those, you can go ahead and copy and paste those hex colors in here and change your color palette to make sure that it stores your branding colors. So if you know what those colors are, you can go ahead and you can change all of these colors to your branding colors, whatever those may be. One color I will recommend that everybody make sure that they put in the palette is it's 6 number 4s. And the reason why is that's a really nice dark gray for body copy font. I don't always love putting solid black as body copy font. It looks a little bit more, I would say, a little bit more fresh, a little bit more modern when you use a really nice dark gray. And 44444 is one of my favorite dark grays. So here you can put a headshot of yourself, put your name, what your title is if you have a title. Page scripts. We won't get into page scripts right now. This is for when you want to do, let's say, Facebook ads, or if you're using any third-party apps like Deadline Funnel. There's different things that you can use. It's more of an advanced side of things, but they have page scripts that need to be added to your pages so that the script actually talks to the third-party app. So I'm going to leave that for now because it's a little bit more advanced, but this is what this is and what it's used for. Now, SEO and sharing. This SEO and sharing, you're going to have this on every single every single landing page. Any pages that you create in Kajabi all have an SEO and sharing section for them. And this is the stuff that when you share a link to something and it automatically pulls up a little preview of what you're sharing, when you see that on Facebook, or if or anytime you see that little preview when someone posts a link, this is what it's pulling from. So you can set the SEO, which is the keywords that describe what you're creating. So this would be keywords for your website. So you would put like, online coaching for women in there, like give that detail. If you could actually you could put your program promise in here as well. There'd be a lot of great keywords in there. So a clear description, at least 2 sentences long, that use keywords that describe your ideal client and what you do, right? The search engine optimization so that it improves your ranking when people are searching for those keywords. So you got to be thinking about what are people searching for and what words can I use? What words are they using and how can I use those in the description of my site? And then you can put a photo, if you have a photo that you want. Sometimes I'll even just take a screenshot of my homepage, like the top part of my homepage, and put it in here as the image so that if someone shares my website, it actually shows like a screenshot of my website. But you could put a photo of anything really in there. And then display powered by branding is just, this is showing at the bottom that your website is powered by Kajabi. If you don't want that on, you can just turn it off. So when you are done, you would hit save. So, and then we go back to settings. Now, blog settings is exactly what it says, blog settings. So you would set for your blog, you would, again, if someone's sharing from your blog, this is the SEO. What is your blog about? Title your blog, put it in a photo of your blog. We'll go more into that into another video when we get into the blog stuff over here, but pretty much that's it. I'm going to jump over here to marketing settings because this will be the next sort of main thing you need to set up. Marketing settings, you need to put in a name and an address for your business. So if you don't want to put in your home address, then I would either suggest a PO box. You can get away with putting like your actual house number. You could put your street number or a close street, but it says, we show your contract address in marketing emails to comply with international anti-spam laws. So get a PO box if you don't want to put your home address, or I think what I have is my home address, but without my house number. If anybody really wanted to find me, they could. So I'm not super worried about it. Again, you can put your logo here. It does say that this image will be placed at the top of your marketing emails. It's not, the email system has changed. It won't automatically be popped to the top anymore, but you could still put a photo, your logo in there just to have it in there. Now, your email settings, it defaults that all marketing emails are sent from Kajabi's domain. So Kajabi's domain is kajabimail.net. What I find is that when you leave this to default to send emails from Kajabi's domain, they can typically, or a lot of times they end up in people's junk mail because for whatever reason, junk mail filters see that kajabimail.net as a marketing email and it will drop into a junk folder. So what you can do down here is you can set up a custom email domain. So for those of you who are creating a custom email, so if you want to take, let's say, for instance, your name, if your name is, Susan Jacobs, and you wanted Susan at susanjacobs.com, you can go to Google Workspace and sign up for a custom email. Now you have to own the domain susanjacobs.com before you can get the custom email that goes with it. So whatever your domain is, if you want info at, or your first name at, or contact me at, or whatever you want to put in front, and then having the domain after the at.com, then you've got to own the domain, and then you can go to Google Workspace and actually buy the email that goes with it. I think it's about $6 a month, and you can get that custom email to go with your custom domain. And then what you do is you come in here and you can set this up. So you would say from, it would be from Susan if you want to just be Susan, or you could say it's from Susan Jacobs. This is how it's going to display in their inbox. And then the email, if you're doing, Susan Jacobs, if you're doing Susan at susanjacobs.com, then it's going to send from the Gmail, not from Kajabi, which means that there's a better chance it's going to end up in their inbox and not their junk mail. The reply to email is what you want. So for instance, if they reply to one of your emails, what inbox do you want it to go in? So you might want it to go to your info instead of your personal. So you can decide. So then it gives you a preview. So this is what it's going to look like in their inbox. So if you don't want Susan Jacobs, you want it to seem more friendly, you might want to just put Susan. The reply to is the info at susanjacobs.com, right? So this is what it's going to look like when it enters into their inbox. So once you put these up, you're going to say set up custom email domain, and it's going to walk you through the steps on how to finish that. There are some MX records that need to get added into your Google mail. So just know that there is some setup that needs to be done. Kajabi does give you the instructions on how to do that once you go into the setup custom email. Email sequence defaults. This is what time when you create an email sequence, these are emails that are automatically being sent out to your audience. So when you have automated emails, what time of day do you want those emails to go land in someone's inbox? I'm a big fan of like first thing in the morning, 7, 8 a.m. I know 10 a.m. is popular because people kind of take a break around 10 a.m. You can decide what time of day you want your emails to land in people's inboxes. You can even pick the time. Once you have that done, you would hit save. And then it would save that time. So it's not going to let me leave this blank. So I'm just not going to hit save here. You have to fill all of this out in order to be able to save everything. So I'm just going to go back into settings. You can see as we're editing things, my getting started over here is the percentage is changing because I'm doing some of the things that are required in order to get started. So checkout settings is actually, you know what? Let's go back before I do that. Let's do drip settings. Oh, no, that's something different. Sorry. I'm just I want to do these in an order that sort of makes sense. Let's go to payment integrations next. So there are two types of payment providers that you can use with Kajabi. There's Stripe and PayPal. A lot of people don't like using PayPal. I know there's some legal lawyers, and you'll notice Andrea Sager, who I've got in the bonus section of this Quantum Accelerator, giving legal advice. I don't know if she says it so much in her video, but I've seen her say this before, where she doesn't like when business owners use PayPal because PayPal doesn't protect the business owner; it protects the buyer. I do use PayPal. I haven't had any issues with it, knock on wood. And Stripe is a very solid, very highly respectable payment portal. So absolutely 100%, I would for sure use Stripe. Whether you decide to use PayPal or not, it's up to you. To connect Stripe, you need to actually go to Stripe and you need to set up a Stripe account. So when you set up your Stripe account, it's going to walk you through a whole bunch of questions that you need to answer, some forms. You got to put in your banking information. There's a lot of things in there that you got to get set up. Once it's set up and done, then you can come back here and connect it. And when you hit connect, it's basically going to ask you to log in to your Stripe account. It's going to bring up this window and you're going to say, I have a Stripe account. And then it's going to ask you to log in. So you want to make sure that you have the Stripe set up first. PayPal is going to do the same thing. You need to go to your PayPal account. Now, if you don't have a PayPal account, when you create one, create a PayPal business account. You need to have a PayPal business account in order to do that. Now, it wants this client code number and this secret API number. It gives you instructions. Again, Kajabi is really great at giving it instructions how to connect your PayPal account. There's a video here that walks you through it. And then there's a step-by-step process right here to show you how to go and find those numbers. So when in doubt, click this, where can I find this? Okay. I hope that clicked over with my Loom. If you didn't see that screen, just click on this and you'll see where the instructions are. There's video and all kinds of instructions. So once you have that connected, you would hit save and then you would have your two payment portals connected. You can't create offers in Kajabi until these are connected, until at least one of these are connected. So what's the difference between the two? Well, PayPal is something that people can connect their bank accounts to. So if they don't have credit cards, they could use PayPal and connect it right to their bank account in order to send you their money. Stripe is only credit card. You have to have a credit card if you're going to pay through Stripe. So when they check out, it's going to give them an option for credit card or PayPal. And then if they want to use their bank account to pay, they can, and they can do that through PayPal. But they have to have a PayPal account in order to be able to do that. So that's the payment integration. So if we go to the checkout settings, so the checkout settings, this is going to be, and you'll see this when we get into sales. This is where you create the checkout process for your clients. So a couple options that you can set up prior to setting up your checkout pages is enable email list opt-in. So uncheck opt-in box, meaning your default setting on your checkout form is a box that's unchecked that they have to check to say that they want to opt into your emails. So it will default to an unchecked box. They say that's recommended. However, it is a real pain in the butt when people don't notice it and they don't check it, because then any important emails that follow them purchasing your program, they won't get because they didn't opt into your stuff. So I would suggest doing the pre-checked box, and it's going to say this may violate marketing laws applicable to your business. Before you continue, read this article. So you can read it and you can understand it and do the risks. One of the things that I do is I actually put copy right on my checkout page that says, by signing up for this program, you agree to be on my mailing list, basically. So I would do that. And this is custom messaging here. So yeah, so then you could do a custom message. There's, disabled means you don't want this on there at all. Where it's like they're not added to your list if they buy. Custom message could be oops. Yes, I understand. I just want to click this again. Custom message would be by purchasing this program, you agree to be on our list. Automatically sign up new members to your list when they purchase your paid offer. It's your responsibility to client. So, you just have to make sure that you're following the rules. I'm not going to tell you which one to do. They recommend the unchecked. If that's the one you want to go with, just to be safe, you can. Read through the laws, the terms of service on this stuff, decide which is best for you. Make sure it's very clear on your checkout pages. And when you get to that section of Kajabi, I'll show you where that is. But this is where you set the default, your checkout pages are going to default to. Now, card storage opt-in is giving them an option to store their credit cards in their account. So if they want to purchase more things from you in the future, it's right there. So you could have opted in by default, disabled. I have opted out by default. That's what I have. I don't expect anybody to store their credit cards in their Kajabi account with me. So it's up to them. I don't do anything with this purchase webhook URL stuff. And checkout tracking code, if you have a specific tracking code that you're using with Facebook ads or whatever, you can put them in here. This is more of an advanced thing. So once you have your settings set, you can hit save and go back to settings. Domain is where you're going to actually connect your final URL. So right now we've got the Kajabi domain, but if we want to set up a custom domain, you would click that. And it says, how do you want to connect your domain? So you can connect your domain to Kajabi, and it says, I want to use my Kajabi URL to look like example. If my existing domain already points somewhere else, it will now point to Kajabi instead. This option walks you through how to change the name servers. I'm just going to click on that. Yeah. So then connect domain to Kajabi. So this is saying, like, I have a domain that I've purchased and I want my Kajabi URL to look like this. So you want that where I had Kajabi tutorial recordmedia.mykajabi.com. I want to point that, or I want that to look like this instead of the mykajabi.com. So then if you want to do that, you type in, for instance, it's SusanJacobs.com, and then you would hit next. And then it's going to walk you through the steps on how to set it up. I'm just going to hit next. I don't own this domain, so I don't know what it's going to try and do. Okay. So then what it's doing is saying, okay, if this is your domain, then what you need to do is you need to complete these steps. You need to go to sign into GoDaddy, which is what I recommend you use to buy your domain. Go to the DNS records, remove these name servers, which you will see in the DNS records, and add these two name servers instead. And when you replace these two with these two, what it does is it's pointing your Susan Jacobs to your Kajabi domain. And then when you're done, you hit verify. And now when people go to susanjacobs.com, it's moving them to the Kajabi site. Your Kajabi site is basically it. Now I'm going to cancel this. Obviously we don't own Susan Jacobs. If Susan Jacobs, hopefully we're not disrupting her website. I don't think we are. Let's go back. And then if you want to create, I'm just reading this one because this one's new. I want my Kajabi URL to look like courses.example.com. This won't affect where my existing domain points. So this is creating another subdomain. If you wanted to create a subdomain. So that's saying if you want your website to be susanjacobs.com, but you want your course to be course.susanjacob.com, you could, or academy, Susan Jacob Academy. You can create a subdomain, and then you give that the URL that you want it to go to. So again, advanced stuff, not super prudent that we go through this right now, but know that you can create those subdomains. And I think, it gives you information about it here. This option walks you through adding a CNAME record. Yeah. So that you're basically going to be adding some records to your DNS. So you've got to go back into GoDaddy. So this is like a combination of using GoDaddy and Kajabi to get everything set up. The main one you want to do is just connect to this one when it comes to connecting your URL. And walks you through the steps. And no, I'm just going to click that again. I just want to make sure it does walk you. So it says having trouble. I guess actually this is where it used to be a big page of steps, but they've really just simplified it. This is really all you need to do. Is really that simple. And then there's a couple extra steps. So don't overthink this. Don't get super freaked out about this if you're not tech savvy. It's really just following these simple instructions and just use GoDaddy to buy your URL. All right, so that's canceling. So we're going to just stop that. And then we're going to go back. And we're going to go back. So that's where you set up your custom domain. Form settings here. This is where you want to set up your default form. So one of the things that I do is I have this add the CAPTCHA to single opt-in forms, because there is an option on your forms, and I'll show you where this is, where you can have a double opt-in. So meaning like if someone opts into something for you, let's say they download your freebie, but you have the double opt-in set up, it means that when they sign up for it, they're going to get an email from you that says, hey, do you really want to receive emails from this? And then they have to click something in that email in order to get the actual email of your download. So I don't turn that on. I actually have single opt-ins always turned on for my forms because I don't want to lose people because it's an extra step. So I do this CAPTCHA, and basically all they have to do is just click on all the motorcycles or whatever. And then it proves that they're not a bot. And then it gives them the email. Now your form fields, these are the default form fields that you can choose from when you're creating your forms, when you'll learn about that in the marketing section. But you can actually add extra fields in here. Like if you always want to be asking people for their Instagram handle, and it's a text field, whether you want to make this required or not is up to you. Not everybody has Instagram, so I wouldn't make it required. You hit save. Now you have that on your list. So when you go to create your form, this is going to be one of the options of things that you can add to your form. Okay, so you can add whatever you want. You could say text, like there's only a phone number here. You might want cell number or text number if you're going to get into text marketing. That's where you can edit and change the form fields. So it took me back to forms, which we want to go back to settings. Okay, so that was in forms. Third-party integrations, the biggest thing you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to install your Facebook pixel. So when you turn this on, it's going to want your pixel ID and the access token. So how do I integrate a Facebook pixel? If you click on that, I don't know if you can see this window or not, but if you click on it, there's a whole instructions about how to implement your Facebook pixel. These little guys here are pages full of information on how to do this stuff. So you've got to go to Facebook, your business page, go into your settings, into your data, and I think it's into data source data or something like that, and then your pixel is in there, and then it's going to show you how you do your access token. So just make sure that if you're not sure how to do those things, you click on here. They give you solid instructions on how to do it. Okay, so that's the only thing you're going to want in here. So then you would hit save and go back. Before I get into drip, let's look at member payments. So member payments is just asking, do you want enabling members to self-cancel their subscription? So if you want members to be able to go into their account and cancel their subscription at any time, turn this on, and that gives them access to do it. If you turn it off, that means you have to give them cancellation instructions. Like, who do they contact? Who do they have to talk to in order to cancel? Personally, I would just turn it on because I think it's always best to give the client the option to cancel whenever they feel like it. This is for subscription stuff. Now, I will say, if you have a payment plan, I wouldn't necessarily let them self-cancel that, but so it applies to anything that's a subscription. So you may want to consider turning it off. If you're finding that you're getting a lot of people who are defaulting on their payment plans, or they're coming in and turning it off, like canceling before your time is up, then you might want to turn this off. But if you're not having issues with that, you can just leave it on. But I leave it on. I haven't had any issues. Email templates. So this one, pretty much you're going to want to just leave this alone, but I'm going to show you this anyways, because there are some things that you may want to touch, or you may want to shift. So these are all the default emails that get sent by Kajabi when certain things happen. So for instance, one that would make sense. So when an offer is purchased. So if I click on this, when someone purchases an offer, they're going to get an email from Kajabi, and it's going to look nicer than this, but this is just the back end. When they get when someone purchases your offer, it's going to say, congratulations, thanks for purchasing, and it's going to insert the title of your offer and it's going to say they insert your site title. So Shana Recker, you can log into with your email and password at the link below. So it's going to give them the URL to log in, and it's going to give them the password. You can contact us with any questions by emailing it. It's going to pull this from your site title, from that marketing email section that we went through in those settings. It's going to pull that information from there. So you can see it's auto pulling information. This is a standard email that people will get when they purchase your offer. If you wanted it to say something else, you can come in here and you can add in, like, let's say you wanted to say, we appreciate your business, and then, Shana or Susan Jacobs or whatever. You could add that in and hit save, and now that will be actually in the email as well. But you can see you can't get super fancy here. It's just small little lines of kind of code type. So you can just type it in, hit save, and then you're done. You can preview it if you want to. You can send yourself a test email. But these are all of the automated emails that get sent for different things, right? So member welcome email, when there's a new member, it's going to say something new, new podcast, all of these things. You can go through and see them all. When a member's payment has failed. Now in this one, you may want, it says, hey, so something went wrong. We were unable to process your payment. Please update your information by clicking here. It's giving them the link to their sites or their profile so they can go in and add their credit card. And then you could say, if you need to speak with our support team, please contact them at info@shanarecker.com, or give a phone number or something like that. And then you could hit save. So then you would have that little extra information on there if you want to say something more beyond what's here. And here you might want to be like, if you want to be like, oops, your subscription payment failed, and make it like more fun, you can do that. So you can go through these and take a look at them. You can leave them as default. Anytime you change them, it says customize. So now you know. Okay. So that's where that lives. All right. Mobile app settings. Again, upload an icon. So you can put that there. This is actually new. App colors. Oh, because they have, yes, that's right. There's the Kajabi app. I forgot about that. I need to go in and update mine. The Kajabi app that people can go in and do your programs on the Kajabi app. So this is setting up your settings for your app on the phone. So member library banner, if you have that on, email broadcast, swipe copy. This is not, oh, this is for Kajabi app promotion. So don't worry about this one so much. But this is where you can change the colors of your app and the icon for it. There's a Kajabi app, so people can access your programs through the Kajabi app. So that's why you can change those colors and stuff. Okay, drip settings. Drip settings is where you can set the time for your program content to drop. So if your program, and you'll learn more about this in the program section, but if you create a program where your information is dropping into the program 1 week at a time, or every 2 weeks there's new content going out, you would set the time for the content to drop. So for instance, if it's going to be every Friday, like 7 days, let's say you create every 7 days, new content's going to drop. What time every 7 days? So if you want to say 4 a.m., so that if you've got early birds who get up early and want to do the new material, it's sitting there waiting for them. So you would just say that time, and then Friday morning or whatever day it is, at 4 a.m., the new content is going to be available for them to click on. So that's what drip settings mean. What time of day do you want the new content that you've uploaded into your program to drop into your program? What time of day? And that's all that is. And then this says send an email to members when product categories are dripped, meaning that, hey, there's new content for you. Go check it out. And actually, if you go into email templates, you should see, there should say something about content. The drip email should be in here. Or not. I'm pretty sure I saw that. But maybe, oh yeah, member drip notification. So this is the email that gets sent. It says, hey, member name, Shayna, there's new content available for you at shaynarecord.com in this product, this category, log in to go and see it. So they will get that email saying that there is new information available for them. All right, so that's how that works. Okay, we're almost done. You guys are being so patient as we go through these settings. The last thing I'm going to show you on here, and I'll show you a couple things down here, but really is the labs. Labs is basically if Kajabi is testing new features, they don't just open it up for everyone. They will give you access to it to try it if you want to. And these are where you get to say, hey, like there's a new offer experience we're trying. Hey, do you want to try it? If you do, you can turn it on. And then you can start using the new features before they fully roll them out. There's a good chance, though, that so you can give feedback. You'll probably get some emails that say, hey, you were trying this. What did you think? So labs is where you can turn on new features that they're testing. The rest down in here, there's your billing, your account details, your password. Notice like these are all your own personal settings. Account users, if you want to add someone to your account. So for instance, if you have an assistant that you want to bring into your account and you want to give her own login. These are like Facebook ad people that I've worked with and stuff. So you can add new users to your account so then they get their own login and you can restrict the things that they see in your settings. So that's pretty much it for settings. Once you get this all set up, you're ready to start digging into Kajabi.